this fascinating ship behind me is a wider 92. Now the big news with this, as you can probably tell for yourself, is it's a catamaran. And that means that although it falls within the 24-metre load line length, it's actually I think about 28 metres long, it's 12 metres wide. It's absolutely vast. So you avoid the sort of the super yacht legislation for crewing and that kind of thing. Technically you could own or operate this, but you still get a humongous amount of space. And we are going to try and do a full tour, but we do seem to have suddenly got an awful lot of people gone on board. Let's just wing it, shall we, and hope for the best. So down here, I mentioned it's a 12-metre beam. You can extend that because these are drop sections that come down flat with a sea. They extend this all the way around the side of the boat, and in fact, a couple of the cabins have got access onto these when they're down. And this one here will take the tender, but this one rolls over as well, infills this section, so you get a massive water level walkway right around the back of the boat. This one takes a tender and also a jet ski. So a big old garage in there. Let's head on in. See how we get on. Right. Yeah, I wish. Okay, we're just going to have to try. Massive, massive space at the back of the boat here. Look at this. And again, of course, that beam is what's giving you this volume. It's just huge. And now we'll have a look at do you know what I think we'll do? Is we'll shoot straight through. Excuse me? See, I'm in France, so I'm using Italian. Let's head straight on down, and then hopefully when we come back up, might have cleared a bit. Now this one is a 4 cabin. You can have a 5 cabin. 2 of the guest cabins are down here, and they look like this. This one's got 2 singles, and now of course a lot of this stuff is owner configuration, so if you wanted a double in here instead, that kind of thing, they'll do it for you. We've got the TV that rises out of here. We've got obviously wardrobes in behind, another one over on that side, the dressing area there, and of course the window in the hull as well. And then right up forward in this hull we've got the ensuite, a really nice size. There is so much space to play with in this yacht that clearly every area is just a really, really good size, especially for a boat that falls within that 24-metre size range. Big spaces. Wardrobe here, and this is the door that I mentioned. So when those balconies are down on the side, you can open that and you've got like your own private balcony out at water level. How cool is that? And then here we've got shower, we've got loo, and we've got basin. There we go. Let's press on a bit further, and we'll see if we can avoid the people on board. This is such a new boat, obviously. It's very, very popular, and we're at a very busy boat show, so we'll do the best we can. Now you see, now we've got a clear shot at this. This is the saloon area. And what's great about this is they've not tried to stretch this out too far. So in other words, sometimes you go into these huge catamarans and they've made this whole deck just one big area, and it's almost as though they don't know what to do with it. And they just fill it out with bits and pieces. This, I think they've done a nice job because they kept this as your lounge area, this for dining, and then as we head on forward, we've got the owner's cabin on the main deck. There's people up there, so we'll drop down this side now, and I'll show you one of the other guest cabins. That's down here. Curious what's in here. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. Server racks. Fantastic. Here we go. Another really big space, isn't it? There's no compromise on here, is there? Big wardrobes. Another hull door here. These obviously are watertight, but I say it does give you that access. And then a very, very nice ensuite. There we go. Let's head on a bit further. You can probably hear quite a bit of water. Now, we're not on a normal berth that this boat would be on because we're at a boat show. So it's quite exposed here. So where you would normally berth a boat like this overnight would be somewhere a bit more sheltered. You wouldn't get that whole water slapping effect. Okay, let's press on. I love this flooring. That's how that closes. Okay, we'll go this way. Galley is here. Nice size, all the usual kind of stuff. The meal cooking here, the hob, and just loads of storage and so forth. That one there is a massive fridge. So that's that, and the crew then have got access straight out of here. Now if we head on down this way, I mentioned that this is a 4 cabin, you can have a 5 cabin. We just saw one guest cabin in this hull, and that's because this has got a crew mess area, which is down here. If you opt for the 5 cabin, of course, this becomes that other cabin. So this then closes off here, and that then, as I say, comes a cabin that's accessed from the stairway that we saw over there. Just depends how you want to configure the boat. Laundry facilities down here. And we've got this little area for vacuum cleaner and washing and other bits and pieces. And that's through to the crew cabin. 2-berth crew cabin with an ensuite, and we can't get into it because it's been locked. Not to worry. It's going to be one of those tours. We film what we can, I think. This here is freezer. Because we saw that big fridge, it was just a fridge. That's where the freezer is. Okay, let's go a bit further. We've got steps up, we'll look at that in a minute. But I think we're going to get away, we're heading forward. This is an owner's boat, they are using it, so I'm not going to open all of his wardrobes, but that's what this is down here. And we've got this area over here, this little sort of bar area, and the wine cooler. And then there's a door here. Actually, I'm telling a lie, I think. That does close off, but I think that's like a separate area, and then the owner's cabin starts here with this door. I think that's kind of how that works, because this is the wardrobes for this cabin. That area I think was just storage. We've only had a very, very quick look around this one. Look at the doggy up in the front. That's the owner's dog. That, I think they agree, is a massive, massive cabin. It's absolutely fantastic. Look at that. And what you've got here then is this fantastic private balcony out at the front. Again, it's taking full advantage of the shape and the concept of the boat. That's brilliant, isn't it? If we go around here, more wardrobes and a obviously particularly nice ensuite in there. Did we do the mirror wave? I don't think so. There it is. It's nicely lit, isn't it? So that is, let's come right back over here. That is the owner's cabin, and that is the owner's private foredeck area. Fabulous. Let's press on a bit further, see what else we can see. So if we head on up now, we'll find the bridge and we'll also find the Sky Lounge. This again might be a little bit busy, we'll see. Keep our fingers crossed. We're in luck. Okay, here's the bridge. Everyone's out on the front now. So because you're higher up and you're fairly well forward, the view out of here is actually pretty impressive when you've not got a load of people stood over there. And then of course across here, multifunction displays. This yacht's actually a hybrid. You can see some of the hybrid drive configurations here. So there are no direct engines, there are just big generators that run electric engines. Camera system on here as well. We've got Zentia joystick. That's quite a display, isn't it? And then we'll press on a bit further. Side door straight out from here. And this then is the Sky Lounge. This is a great casual area. Watch a movie of an evening, that kind of thing. Games room, whatever you want to use it for. Lovely. Looks particularly inviting, doesn't it, that one in the corner there. Okay, let's press on a little bit further. We have people filming. Hi, how are you doing? All right? Very well. Are you all right if I go around this way and not disturb you? Okay, thank you very much. So the aft deck on this one is very much owner configuration. You can have this, it basically comes as a blank canvas, you choose what you want out here. This owner has gone for this lovely bar area, like this. And what a great place to be, because you're raised up, your view is out across the back of the boat. Obviously you're not normally at a boat tree, you're normally in a lovely anchorage somewhere. And that is fantastic, isn't it? I love these seats around the edges as well. That looks really nice. Okay, let's take a wander around the bow, and then we'll head on down and round. There's much more to talk about with this one, including a very, very special drive system. So we'll head up this way. Now, talking of the drive system, this is all solar panels. It's actually, in fact, this whole roof section all the way across here is all a massive solar panel. So that's what it normally gets, and this owner has augmented that with extra solar panels under here. Now, you can walk on them, but because it's a boat show and there's a lot of traffic, they've covered them up for the moment. But yeah, normally this will be uncovered. You're walking across solar panels here. They are everywhere. We've got jet skis up here on the bow, or wave runners, I suppose we should say, to be perfectly accurate. We've got sunbathing up here as well. I think you can have a jacuzzi there if you want to. And you can see here what I was saying earlier, the reason we've got the water slap is because we're not actually in a harbour. The harbour's over there and we're on the outside of it, so of course it's quite breezy. You can see the little wave that's coming in, and that's why we're getting that water slap. You wouldn't normally have that, you'd be somewhere a bit more sheltered than this, but it's a boat show, so not a lot of choice. This then over here is storage, like so. And then we can come right on round and we'll head down this side and we'll take you a little bit further. Now you might notice this netting everywhere, and the reason for this is because of the owner's dog. Just to make sure he doesn't drop down, or she, I'm not sure which, drops down a gap. So yeah, that's all been added for that reason. We'll head right on down and round and we'll head back out onto the foredeck on the main deck level. But look at the space you get. This is a proper spaceship, isn't it? Fantastic. Now normally at this point we would go into the engine room. This doesn't really have conventional engine rooms. There is access down here to the engineering spaces, but this is a little bit more spacey than that. This is actually a full-on hybrid drive yacht. Let's head up here and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. That's that side door into the galley, and this again, solar panels, and that will become abundantly clear why they only wanted so many when we talk about the drive system. So let's come right up to the bow. Oh, look at Doggy. Fantastic. Isn't this a great area up here? Fabulous. There we go. Now the drive system on this is properly complex. It really is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand you over to the captain, because he can explain it a million times better than I could. I am with Captain Mike, who's looking after this fine ship, and he's going to explain the drive configuration to us, because it's quite complex and it's quite interesting. This is Captain Mike. Hello, Captain Mike.
Hello there.
So what have we got on here?
So we have now a solar paneled catamaran.
Yep.
The surfaces we have on the roof, the surface of solar panels. We have on the upper deck solar panels, which goes around here, and we have on the main deck also solar panels here. So the solar panels giving us some power. We have 24 kilowatt peak. So if we calculate here for the Mediterranean about 0.5, 0.6 or something like that, we will get about maybe 12 kilowatt out of the solar panels. Now our drive system is, we have two electrical motors which are 500 kilowatt each, and we have two generators on each side which have 360 kilowatt each.
Okay, yeah. So there's no direct link between the generators and the propellers. The generators are just powering the electric motors.
The generator is just giving the power to the system.
Right.
The whole system is a 700 volt DC system, and then we have a 400 volt AC system for the drives, like the capstans, like the windlasses and all this, like the big machinery. And then we have a 230 volt system for the hotel. So from the 700 volt system we get out the 400 volt and also the 230 volt with frequency converters with drives. And the power management system sees which unit needs some power. For example, the galley needs more power because we have washing machine running, or we have the cooker running, or whatever it is. Then the power management system gives the kitchen, the power. When the solar panel are working, the solar power goes into that power management system, and the power management system decides the solar power goes into the galley or the solar power goes into the batteries. The generator is running, the generator power goes into the batteries, or when we run the generator and we are cruising, the generator power goes into the engines. When we are cruising, we have different modes which we can use, which we can see here. We have the comfort mode now, because we are here in the harbor and we are on comfort, that we are connected to the shore power. In case we need more that the shore power can give us, for example, the shore power gives us 32 kilowatt and we need 40 kilowatt because we're running everything, then the generator would start automatically. For the other system, we have the cruising mode. In the cruising mode, the generators are running 2000 RPM and they give us 200 kilowatt each. When we run in the normal mode for delivery, we can run the engines with 160 kilowatt. We do about 8.5 to 9.5 knots. Then the generators, they will give the power to the engines and they will charge the batteries. So this is what we can see here now. We have on this screen the batteries. We have 3 banks of batteries. Each bank has 10 batteries. They're water cooled in a separate compartment which is watertight. This compartment can also be flooded with seawater.
Okay.
In case. And there's 2 bilge pumps in there which can be started manually to pump this water out again. So these 10 batteries in each battery pack, they have 120 kilowatt hours each, and so we have from the battery power 360 kilowatt hours. When we're running full mode, the generators can run 2900 RPM and they can give us 360 kilowatt. The motors are consuming 500 kilowatts if we go in the maximum. Then we have to use 140 kilowatt from the batteries. When the battery is fully charged, we can have the 140 kilowatts from the batteries plus the generators, and calculative we have 1 hour drive. So we can have 1 hour, then the battery is getting low.
Okay, and what sort of speed is that?
Then we can go maximum speed. We have here 12 knots. We can go to 14 knots.
Okay, I'm with you. Yeah.
So the cruising speed is that we have in the cruising mode, the generator is running to 200 kilowatt and reduced to 2000 RPM. Now the system is running automatically when we're running our engines on 1160 RPM. The batteries are discharging each separately and giving power to the motor and to the house system. When the battery is going down to 10%, the generators will start, or the power management system will use the generator power to give the batteries the charge, and then they will be charged up to 50%. So the automatic system with the power management system is in the cruising mode that the generators, both generators are running and the batteries are charged and discharged, and we do 9.5 knots automatically. So we don't have to touch anything. If we would go faster, the generators would give us the power to go faster, but the batteries will be discharged and the power from the generators in cruising mode would not be enough to recharge the batteries again. Then we would have to reduce the power in our speed, so we would go faster, slower, faster, slower, faster, slower. And in this system, when we go to 1160 60 RPM with the main engines, we don't have to touch anything. The whole system does everything automatically.
Got you. Okay. And what sort of range will you get out of the boat when you're running at a lower speed?
We have a consumption of about 40 liters of each generator. So it will be around. Last time we had 70 to 80 liters an hour with both generators.
Okay.
It depends also because when the generators are charging the batteries, they go down up a little bit to 200 kilowatt.
Yeah.
Then they are using 80 liters. When they are down to 140 kilowatt because the batteries are discharging. Then they go up to down to about 60 liters an hour. So finally, average we can say 70 liters an hour.
Okay.
We have here on the monitoring system, we can see we have 2 tanks each side. One tank, or it's actually 2 tanks on each side, which has 10,000 liters. We have a day tank where the generators are supplied from with 1,000 liters. We can start the valve suction from starboard tank, open the valve for delivery to the day tank, start the pump with automatic stop. So when it comes to 900 liters, 920 liters, it automatically stops, and then now we can fill up the day tank from the bridge. So now if we calculate 70 liters an hour, we have 21,000 liters. So we have to divide 21,000 liters to 70. No? How much is that? This is 300 hours.
Okay, brilliant.
No?
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
No, 3 times 7 is 21.
Yes.
Okay, good. So anyway, we can go 300 hours.
Right.
300 hours now we have to divide by 24, and then we see how many days we can go. No, 24, this is then 14 days. 2 weeks.
Right, right.
And we do about 9 knots.
Yep.
So if we go then for 300 hours, 9 knots, 3 sind 27, sind 2,700 miles.
Okay, wow.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds good.
So finally, that's the electrical system we have.
Yeah. And you can run silently as well with the generators off?
Yes, we have, this is the mode, which we have also, we have a Zen mode we call it.
Right.
And in the Zen mode, here, in the Zen mode we have only the batteries. We are reduced then to about 700 RPM,
Yep.
which gives us a speed of about 5.5 knots. And then we consume about, we can run about 4.5 hours with these batteries under Zen.
Right.
Because we use about 5.5 knots. If you go slower, you can go longer time.
Of course. Yeah.
But I mean, as you go slower, you make also less distance. So
Fantastic.
actually, the cruising mode, which we just explained, the cruising mode would be the best mode, going from A to B,
Yeah.
for example.
Yeah.
And then you have the possibility, if you do the anchor, for example, you have the anchor. At anchor, we use now, if we can see that, we use now about 12 kilos, which is here. This is now the consumption of the hotel system. So if we use 12 kilos, we have 360 kilowatt. We could run this now 30 hours.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, then the batteries would be fully empty.
Yeah.
As I said before, 10% of the batteries, the generator would start automatically and would charge the batteries up again.
Of course.
So if you want, let's say we use maybe 20 kilos when we use washing machine, water maker and something like that. So we use 20 kilos. In 20 kilos we can run the battery power about 14 hours, and then we have to run the generators again. With the generator, as I said, the generators can run 200 kilowatt, which is 400 kilowatt.
Right.
And theoretically we have 360 kilowatt in the battery packs, 400 liters, 400 kilowatt from the generator. The batteries would be charged 1 hour.
Fantastic.
I mean, it's not the true version, because when the battery is getting charged, the charge to the batteries gets lower because the curve goes up.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha.
So, but you can calculate a little bit like 2 hours of generator use a day, then you have the other 22 hours no generator use. So
Okay.
you have a nice night's sleep without generator, without noise, without smoke, and all this kind of things.
Yeah.
So if there's a crew on board, which we have here for crew, the crew would run the generator when the guests or the owners are off board,
Right.
so
yeah.
the owners and guests are not disturbed.
Understood.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
finally, that's how I would use it.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Perfect. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for that.
More questions?
No, I think that's it. Just with regards to crew, is it just a 2-berth crew cabin on this one, or is there more than that?
No, there's a captain's cabin with a bunk bed, which is 2 crew.
Yeah.
And there's another 2 crew cabin here on the starboard side, which enters from the deck. So
Oh, I see. I didn't see that.
there's
Yeah.
2 beds. There's two crew beds with a large space with the lockers and everything, and they also have a toilet and a shower for themselves. And the captain has a shower and toilet for themselves. There's a crew quarter down here, which has a little table with 4 seats, so the crew as well has a microwave. They have a sink for washing a little bit. They have a fridge down there, and they have a little 2-cooker ceramic field, glass field, so they can make a little food for themselves. Of
course.
Yeah.
Perfect.
When they're doing deliveries or something like that, they can cook for themselves. They don't have to use the owner's galley.
Understood.
Yeah.
That has been perfect. Thank you so much for that. It's been so
welcome.
informative, and I knew that I would never be able to remember that myself. So
This is quite hard to remember.
yeah, absolutely. That's great. Thank you again. I will leave you in peace.
Okay.
All right. Nice to see you. Cheers.
You. Nice to see you as well.
And that's it, we're done. I think you'll agree that that is something truly special. Massive thanks to Argo Yachting, they organised this tour. Massive thanks to Wider as well, of course, they built the boat. And massive thanks finally to you guys for watching it. I think there'll be plenty of comments on this one, let me know what you think, and we'll catch you on one of these real soon. Take care, bye-bye.